welcome back to my channel. I'm Amberia, and today I brought on a special guest on my channel because I thought of a great video idea and I felt like a lot of girls would want this video. As you guys can see by the title, today we're gonna compare Hooters to Twin Peaks. Victoria, you can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Victoria. I've been working at Twin Peaks approximately for 2 years. So I have a lot to say, and I'm sure Amber has a lot to say too.
Yes. So I have thought up a list of 10 questions that me and Victoria are gonna answer. I worked at Hooters for about 1.5 years. I felt like because we both had some experience at either restaurant that we can come on here and give you guys some tips about how to get hired, what it's like working there, like all the stuff that everybody, the money, everything that everybody has like their own, what's the word? Perception of these restaurants. Like we're gonna clear the air for you guys. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
So what made you work at Twin Peaks?
So honestly, like I lived at the time like 5 minutes away from there, and I had no idea what Twin Peaks was. So one day I decided to go into the restaurant and I found out it was a restaurant. I didn't even know. It's like I went in there and I was like, oh my god, like this is kind of like a Hooters. You got some sexy girls, they have all this, you know, stuff on them, and it was a cool little vibe. It's a sports bar. So I was just like, okay, well then I guess I can work here. I'm kind of cute.
Can I ask you why you chose Twin Peaks over Hooters?
I actually applied to Hooters and they denied me. I don't know why.
I guess that makes it easy.
I don't know why they denied me, but I went to Twin Peaks anyway and they accepted me. So I said, okay, game on, period.
Okay, so for me personally, I have never thought about working at Hooters a day in my life. I was working at a burger restaurant. That was my very first serving job. I remember by the end of the summer, I was just like, I want a new job. Like I want a fun job. So I was on Instagram and I kept seeing all these Hooters girls, like all these, like my explore page was just full of Hooters girls. So I had the idea in my mind for about 2 months, and I had a friend and she was just like, well, Amber, you keep talking about it, so just do it. Like just go ahead and do it. So she literally like took my phone and helped me filled out the application. There's a bunch of Hooters in Atlanta, but I figured like go big or go home. So the Hooters that I decided to work at was downtown Atlanta. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna work at Hooters on Peachtree, and I applied and I got an interview. So what was your interview process like?
As far as Twin Peaks, so when you go there, so there's no application online that you fill out. When you do your application, it has to be in the store, in the restaurant. So when you go in, you want to make sure you look just like this. Like you want makeup done, hair done, make sure you have a bra, because if they're ready to hire you, they're gonna put you in this uniform. And essentially they're gonna take pictures of you front, back, side, and side, send it to corporate, and then they kind of go from there to see if they want to hire you. So make sure you're looking your absolute best when you walk in there. But when you walk in there, you ask, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm looking for the general manager so I can apply for this job. And they give you this sheet, and you pretty much, it's obviously just your typical application, and you fill everything out. It's really funny because every Twin Peaks application, they ask you this one question, and it's, what's the biggest fish have you caught?
Stupidest question.
It's so dumb. I think I said I caught a bass.
Oh, I said 10 pounds.
Which one? So I'm like, the biggest fish, like Nemo? Dory?
Dory? The turtle?
So you get there, and finally, like I said, like depending on if they're ready to hire you or not, you kind of just wait for the general manager. So obviously every job is going to ask you the basic question, when are you ready? What's your availability like? And they're going to sit there and be like, so tell me a time, and you're just like, and you're picking shit from the side, and you're like, oh.
You're making stuff up.
You're making stuff up as you go, and you're just like, what? I've never had a problem or an issue with customers, which is a whole bold-faced lie. But
you want to make yourself look good. You want to come off as that fun, bubbly girl.
Yeah.
That's going to be cute and be able to serve wings and beer. Like
with, you know, with a smile on her face constantly.
Honestly.
So as far as the interview process, like it's nothing different than another interview process for Macy's or Hooters, or it's the same thing. They're trying to get to know you. They want to see where your head is at. What was it like for you?
For me, mine was a little interesting because when I applied to Hooters, they had just fired 45 girls and a couple and a couple managers for fraud. So when I applied online, and that's the difference, so like you have to go in store, and if you go in store at Hooters, they're literally gonna turn you right around. So you fill out the application online, you wait about 3 to 5 days. I think I got mine in like 2 to 3 days basically. And then I had I got called in. My interview was a group interview with 6 girls, and out of the 6 girls, 5 of us got hired. The interview was very basic. Obviously in a group interview you can't go as depth as you want to, but of course you want to try to stand out. So it was the same basic questions, like how would you deal with like big crowds, how would you deal with a hard customer, what is super important, like what's something you should do important when serving alcohol. And I just remember like always checking ID. Then they're like, okay, well if we choose you guys will get an email in about 48 hours. And I remember I got mine that very next morning that says to come in, try on the uniform, and they take pictures of you front, back. They send it to corporate. Corporate has to approve you. It's always important to come in with makeup. If you do not come in with makeup, the manager will either say automatic no, or if they really like you, they'll tell you to come back in with makeup. On. Always be prepared to have the bra, like to honestly like wear like a thong pretty much in the Hooters shorts. Right. And yeah, and then after that you like sign paperwork and then you start training and stuff like that. How do you feel like you should dress to the interview? Because a lot of girls feel like they should come in club attire or dress up, and if you walk in club attire, everyone's gonna laugh at you, no offense.
It could be a bad bitch and some jeans, nice shoes, and a cute top, because at the end of the day they're looking at your face. I'm just saying on behalf of when you take the picture, you don't want your heels on. It's gonna look it's a simple process, honestly. You go in, you come out.
Don't overthink it.
It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, like I said, you're still going in to get a job.
A part of the uniform comes hair, makeup, nails. For Twin Peaks, jewelry, tattoos, and for socks and boots. For Hooters, glamorous hair, makeup, nails, and uniform stockings and shoes. We obviously have to read the handbook, and it literally says that you have to style your hair with a heat tool, and it has to be glamorously done, and you have to always be picture ready, because like she mentioned, it's an entertainment job. Yes, we're servers, but the reason that we can get away with having our hair down and our nails done is because we're entertainers. But recently Hooters did change a rule that we're now allowed to wear braids, we're allowed to put our hair up, but you're not allowed to have any like clips or bobby pins or anything in them.
And the same thing for Twin Peaks. No hair up, same thing down, no clips in your hair, no headbands, none of that. It could be curly.
Hooters, your hair has to be a solid natural color. Amberia, if you have highlights or something like that, you have to maintain the upkeep, and you cannot let your roots grow out, because they're gonna take a picture, send it to corporate, and they're gonna tell you to change it.
Twin Peaks is a little different. They don't want to see the blue. They don't want to see like the white. Like it's just too much. It's too extreme. They want natural hair colors.
Any major change that you're doing to yourself, you have to get it approved by corporate.
Hey Doug, like I'm about to get, some box braids. Is that okay? And they'll be like, yeah.
So next, moving on to jewelry. We can see the difference. Hooters, you're not allowed to wear any jewelry. Hooters, technically, you are the American girl next door. No bracelets. You're allowed to wear 1 ring. Earrings have to be nickel size. No necklace, no scrunchies, no anklets, no nothing.
Twin Peaks is completely opposite. We're like the grunge girl, right? But if you do have tattoos, definitely I encourage you to come to Twin Peaks, because you can't even expose your tattoos.
Yeah, at Hooters, if you have anything like right here on your back, or like any visible thing in the uniform, you have to put makeup on it. You have to be checked off that it's not visible enough, I guess.
And yeah, Twin Peaks, like I said, it's completely opposite. They want us to be like that badass girl. So we like gaudy jewelry. We want rings, we want bracelets, we want necklace, we want earrings, we want it all. And quite honestly, it looks a little tacky if you put all of it together. And we kind of get judged and graded on that. And they're just like, sweetie, where's your rings? Where's your watch? Where's your bracelet? And you're just like, it was just a little too much. Shit.
It's just a lot. So if you're more like, I have piercings and tattoos and I love jewelry, Twin Peaks might be for you. But if you're
a little lame and you kind of just
you're
don't
a little
have
more
much,
simple,
yeah, you're a conservative girl. Hooters is better.
Exactly. Hooters has a couple different uniforms. The classic orange shorts and white top. Tuesday and Friday we have a black uniform, but Tuesdays is military day, and then Friday, which is my personal favorite one because it really makes you look snatched, and it's black shorts and a black shirt, and then of course the orange writing.
So Twin Peaks,
you have 50,000 uniforms.
Oh my goodness, we do. We have red plaid. We have our gaudy, like super chunky belt. We have our khaki pants, and I'll get into the boots later. So we wear this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now on Friday, depending on your location, it's for a specific brew. So then we'll have a different top. Saturday, depending on the season. If it's football season, you're wearing a football
so
top.
much, guys. Like,
yeah. So every month for a week, there's a dress up week, and
I'll insert a picture of her favorite dress up.
So it's a dress up week, and essentially, like, based off of the month is what the dress up week is. So for example, in June, I think the dress up week is like bikini week. So I work at a conservative Twin Peaks, therefore I can only wear the top.
Whereas like in Buckhead, you can walk in and it literally looks like a strip club.
Ass cheeks out.
Like they can wear thongs. What would you say is your favorite dress up?
Ooh, I have several. I like the one for Christmas. So Santa's Little Helper.
I think Christmas is my favorite one.
Santa Little Helper. Halloween, because you get to dress up as in the costume, so that was nice.
So we have Hooters jerseys. So we're allowed to wear that on game day. Certain Hooters are allowed to wear jerseys, like if you like a Falcons jersey or an Atlanta United jersey or like a Giants jersey or whatever, any team you want. It depends on if you're franchise or if you're corporate. The last part about the uniform is our shoes. So shoes is a big part of it. Like I said, we're more the door next door, all-American cheerleader type of look. Here we have our famous Skechers. You have to purchase them, they're $40, and they expect you to keep them white. You constantly have to clean them, you constantly have to buy them. But low-key, it makes the uniform look better, but yeah, this is just a shoe that you're always constantly wearing, $40. I personally put insoles in mine because they're not like the most comfortable, but I mean, it's part of the job. For Twin Peaks,
so again, ours is very like in the woods, timber. So we wear boots to work. Now, you can get away with it with boot covers. These boot covers are from Party City. Wow, I need some lotion. So I have non-slip shoes from Walmart. And I bought these boot covers for $20 from Party City. So it has to be mid-calf. If you're a bartender, you can wear rain boots. And if you're a server or a hostess, then it could be like a snow boot. So like, again, just think I'm in Colorado. What is this sexy bartender wearing? And she's wearing plaid and boots. So
when you work at a restaurant, do you need breasts? And what's your answer?
Honestly, it all depends on your bra.
Naturally, you do not need boobs. Like they're not gonna say she's an A cup, I'm not hiring her. Like they legally cannot do that. They would never do that if they wanted to.
And a lot of these material and shirts are meant to expose what you don't have. And
it's spandex, and when I tell you, it lifts you up.
So again,
and even this shirt, like yes, I have a bra on, but it's so tight on you. So when your boobs are being compressed and then they're lifted,
they're gonna look luscious. They're gonna look full.
So it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of girls that have a D cup, and there's plenty of girls that have a triple A cup.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
It literally doesn't matter. I mean, just having a little more boobs out gets you some more money, like
just a little more.
Just a little more. Like it might help you out a little bit.
I personally think it's all about your face, because I'm not here to sound vain, but let's be honest, going into a job like this, you're signing off that you have to wear makeup.
Yeah, you're signing a contract saying I'm agreeing to these rules. And with Hooters, the contract includes that you're agreeing to wear the uniform, you're agreeing to be glamorous and an entertainer, you're agreeing to have your nails a neutral pink color, and you're agreeing to be a certain image look. How was your training and how long did it last?
So training, because I got hired as a hostess the first time I was there, was for 4 shifts. So long story short, training wasn't bad. It was pretty self-explanatory. It was getting to know the menu even more, how to upsell, and obviously alcohol. Now, alcohol can be very overwhelming. It's a lot of memorization. When you want to sell to your guests, you want to know what you're selling, what the alcohol content is, what's in it, and that's how you make your money, because people trust you, they rely on you. And that didn't take immediate, like, oh my god, I know everything. Yeah, that took time.
The more you go and the more you work, the in-depth of beer, and when you're working at a bar that has
30 on tap, so yeah, it's a lot. And then we have bottled beers too, so it's just like,
and you're coming
canned beers.
You're coming to a sports bar with like people who drink beer, so you kind of got to know what you're talking about. And the more you know, the better the experience is, the higher your tip, to be honest.
Absolutely. And then so a lot of different bars, like they weren't going into old fashions and Negronis, and you're just like, oh my god, like how do I sell this?
And it's like when you're 20 years old, you're like,
I just wanted a rum and coke.
Wait, yeah.
So it does get difficult, but I would say, like, don't let that steer you away from the job, but do know, like, as a server, there's a lot for you to memorize. So what about you?
So my training at Hooters, like I said, I came into Hooters in a very unique situation. So I was kind of low-key walking into a shit show, but I turned that shit show into gold, I will say that. So I trained at a different location. My first night on the floor was a Friday night.
Cut, a Friday night? Ooh! Usually, let me go ahead and say, they start you off on a Monday.
Monday morning.
Slow.
They put me in the dungeon. On a normal weekday, it's in the corner, like no one wants to sit there. But on a weekend, the dungeon is the party section.
Oh.
Whose idea was this to sit little old Amberia in the back to have this whole party section by herself on a Friday night? It was just very hectic. I remember asking girls for help and they literally looked me up and down and said no. And I was like, I got through it. I remember I made a little money. I feel like a lot of people always say like working with all-girl staff can get kind of hectic. How do you like working with an all-girl staff?
I was a little skeptical at first. I've seen Bad Girls Club. There's a problem when there's too much estrogen in a room, right? But believe it or not, like, it is actually like the coolest job ever.
Like, so fun. You're all dealing with the same stuff. Like,
my problems are low-key, your problems are low-key. Like, we're experiencing the same thing. So it is a sisterhood. Now, obviously,
everybody has their problems.
Yeah, so
there's a little cattiness because we're all females, but honest to God, like, we can just combine this because it's the same way at Hooters. Everyone has their own background and we all lean on each other for support. Like, Victoria's one of them. Yes, I met Victoria when I worked at Twin Peaks, but that just shows you, like, we hang out literally every single day. As far as cattiness and anything, like, there's really none.
We have fun. Like, this is a fun setting. You get to get cute. You get to get some money. Like, you get to, you know, guys flirt with you. You know what I mean?
Like, for a job.
So the good thing about this job is that, like, there's no such thing as
a set schedule.
Yeah. So you make your own schedule. Granted, the schedule is out for you, but you can release shifts.
The schedule is out, but the schedule doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. You can kind of pick up and go, and what I mean by that is just like if you were low a certain week, you can easily be like, oh, let me pick up a shift.
Yeah, so next we'll get into the money. They kind of like for us to like stay cute, more so at Twin Peaks than Hooters. So for Hooters, it's 2% and we tip the bar 1% because they're taking time away from their guests to make our drinks for our table. And then second percent is for the host because I don't know why we tip hosts.
What did I say? It's the hardest job in the restaurant.
I guess it's the hardest job in the restaurant, so we give them a little 1%. Whereas at Twin Peaks,
the total is 4%. I don't know how we break it up, but ours is based off of beer sales.
So it's 2% of your entire sales. Well, let's say on a Friday night, I sell $1,200. Let's pull out a calculator. $24, and that $24 is divided. It's $12 to the bar, $12 to the host. Depending if there's 1 or 2 hosts, that host will get $6 or $12, and then the bar will split my personal $12 between the 3 to 5 of them. But if you think about it, $12 times what, 10 people, it's just a little more side work at Hooters, which is why it's less tip out versus
Twin Peaks, where there's no side work.
When I say none,
we don't fold silverware, we don't make sweet tea, we don't clean shit. They only ask you to pre-bus, and pre-busing is essentially like if somebody's sitting at the table and they obviously have finished their meal, just take the plate and put it in the back. That's why we tip out 4%, because we're tipping out bussers, bartenders, and hostesses.
That I personally call them ball and shot callers. Twin Peaks has more like,
you have the sugar daddies.
And you flirt with them, you sit with them, they might order $15 worth of stuff.
Yeah, one drink, and for some reason you have a $100 tip. Like, oh, okay.
Literally. And personally, not to toot my own horn, but I was getting a $100 tip. 4 out of my 5 shifts I'm getting a $100 tip or more, personally. And that's not even having a $500 total. Yeah.
It depends what type of server you are.
I am a male server. If I walk up to a table and it's 3 guys, I'm having the time of my life. I'm gonna talk shit and be like, why don't you have a shot in front of you? Why is your beer empty?
She'll upsell when it comes to alcohol and stuff like that. I can take party sections, and I really love big parties. And I love family parties, because then I see 20 people at the table and I'm already calculating like, bitch, that's
and you're right. And it's like, for me, I'm more a small 3-person table with a big tip, and she's more like you said, party is guaranteed 90% of the time guaranteed money.
The 3 parties, it's like we're gonna go ahead and splash 60% out there, but you don't work as hard. I work a lot, and I work very hard because I have to accommodate for 12.
Are there a lot of creepy guys?
The best way to describe it is places like Hooters and Twin Peaks, specifically Twin Peaks, are for men that do not know how to speak to women outside. Your server has no choice. She can't disrespect you. Yes, she can. She can disrespect you.
And we will disrespect you if you come crazy.
Yeah, don't you ever come crazy. Come correct. They really feel bold, and they're just like, oh my goodness, finally this attention from a beautiful woman that I want. And she kind of sort of has to serve me because I'm paying her bills.
They'll splash in what their profession is. They'll splash in the car they drive. They'll splash in the last vacation they went on. And of course, like, we're not necessarily eating it up, but we're listening because it's like that lets us know, like, okay, you got something going. The art of it is learning how to be interested without seeming captivated by it.
My piece of advice is that if you're working and if you're a newbie and you kind of really don't know how to scope the scene, you always want to make it sound like you're hearing them, like, oh my God, I hear your problem. But don't be like, oh my God, you have this? Like, if you seem too interested, they kind of already bought you. Never, don't fall for that.
So on average, how much would you make a week during football season?
A week. So again, it depends because it's just like, how many days are you working? So for my specific schedule,
I was like 5 days.
Yeah, so also if you want to make money, don't ever consider yourself part-time because unless you got juice like that and you got pull and you could really make some money within about 20 hours of the week, don't consider that. So I'm speaking on 40 hours plus. 40 hours plus. I'm going to probably be walking away with $850 plus for that week.
Really? My football season, this football season was absolutely
It was garbage. So it's just like
last football season, 1,000 to 1,200
a week.
Every week. And I remember specifically counting because it was like 4 or 5 weeks in a row that I was like, God damn, I've hit over a band in a week. So for me, I didn't have regulars. Victoria at Twin Peaks, she
you
has
have
her
regulars. You got people that come in every single Sunday looking for you. Like, is Victoria here? I want to sit with her. I want to sit with her.
The one regular I had, he lived, I don't know where he lived. I think he lived in New York. But every time he was in Atlanta, or if he had a layover, he was coming to see me, giving me money.
Okay.
And
So
it was like for a couple of months. Like anytime he low-key would like try to have a layover in Atlanta.
So it's a regular like that. So if they're really out of state, but they come to Atlanta for business a lot, then I can see that. When I like to tell people about the money that I'm making, I don't include money from regulars because
that makes sense.
You need to know what the company is doing as a whole, not because of you individually, because this guy.
Because regulars are not guaranteed,
right?
And it's based off of experience. So
exactly.
I don't want to like have this video and have the girls thinking they're about to go get a $500 tip on their first day. Like,
no, don't.
It takes a little.
And you might just have beginners. Like you might walk in there, you look so good, and your service was amazing, and it just so happened the guy had the 500 at the time that he handed to you.
What is the biggest tip that you've gotten at Twin Peaks?
The biggest tip was $1,000 cash from one person. The tab was $15.
Really? Wow. I have two. I had a party. The tab was so fucking high. I have never had a party that high. I think the tab was like $5,000. I got $500 from that party. I don't want to include that, but my biggest tip from one specific person, I think, was like $700.
When you get this money, first of all, you least expect it. It's one of those things.
It's one of those days where it's like, God.
Yeah, your life is going to shit.
It's like you're like about to be evicted.
Crying. You don't know how you're gonna pay your car note. Your grandmother's in the hospital. It's a lot.
Like the world's about to explode. Okay, $1,000. Like yes, that's not everyone gets a $1,000 tip, but like I said, $100 tips are very, very easy.
Disclaimer. We need to disclaim.
Yeah, we need to disclaim that.
There was nothing sold, and you know what I mean.
That's a big thing. Like, do you sell pictures? Are there?
No.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's different. I'm pretty sure at these jobs there are probably females that do that. But as far as Amber and I, like on everything, I put this on my life. I've never done anything solicit.
We're selling wings and beer. Like,
that's it.
And good conversation, and we're cute. So it's like
I'm getting paid for that. Don't ever get it twisted and think like, oh yeah, to do this certain type of job, all the girls are doing. No. If you specifically know a girl that's doing that, that is her business. But don't put that on everybody because I definitely am not doing any of that. So, unfortunately, this is gonna sound bad, but being in this position, a man will try you several times.
It comes
thinking
with
you're a
story.
fucking hooker,
because
right?
because at the end of the day, like we wear more revealing outfits than the normal. I have a job the same way that you have a job, so it's like for people will approach you in a sense that you're asking for sex. When you're asking, hey, are your wings okay?
That's it.
What advice would you give someone who is like debating?
I say go for it. It like your energy has to be here. Now, like I said, there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of things that you sign up for. So if you know what you're signing up for, the hair, the makeup, you don't mind the outfit. You understand that there is going to be a situation presented where a man might try you. You have to understand that the company is still going to defend you. You can defend yourself too. Once you take all that into consideration, the money, like it is really probably one of the best jobs you can ever have.
I would say, like,
it's so laid back. It's so much fun. The hype, the crowd, the environment, the energy.
The
like
energy on a fight night or a football game, it's
undefeated.
liberating. It like it's like vibranium going into your body.
What you get out is what you put in, and you can get a lot more out than all these other regular jobs.
I will say,
So,
12 hours at Applebee's is not the same as 12 hours at
Twin Peaks. God no.
Yeah. You don't have to be like the baddest, the most beautiful, as long as you walk in with confidence and you know who you are.
Absolutely.
And you're ready to
Kill it.
So you're ready to kill it. Like, go in there with confidence. Like, for Hooters personally, you don't have to have any serving experience, but the perks of it is just so much. Like, you can, from going to a host to Hooters girl / Twin Peaks girl to bartender to even having the chance to be into a calendar or doing promo. Like, but I hope this video helps you guys out. Sorry it's so long, but like there's just so much to like talk on, like touch on and everything. I hope you enjoyed us, and I hope we answered your questions, and definitely let us know down in the comments which one you feel like you would be a better fit at, you know, Hooters or Twin Peaks. And make sure you guys follow Vic at _ call me Vic.
I think I'm gonna make a YouTube because of this now. So
she loves being on my channel.
Yeah,
like,
stick around, guys.
So yeah, thank you guys. Make sure you guys come back for more videos, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching.
Thank you guys.
Bye guys.